In this tutorial I'm going to be showing some basic stuff for audio editing and all that. So first, let's say we have an audio sample. So we're gonna this is just to do with voices and stuff, and then I'm going to show you some music stuff later. So let's say I have an acapella that is, I'm just going to choose one right now. Let's see. I'm just trying to find a really clean one to get my idea across.
Great start, by the way.
Yeah. Sure. Let's get this one. Actually, no. This will straight up give me a copyright strike. Okay, so here's an acapella. Oh yeah, that's right.
Headphones,
Earphones. Yeah. Okay. Here you go. So right here. So here's the acapella. So, that sounds fine. Now, some basic stuff when it comes to FL Studio is if you want to set the project tempo to a certain thing, here's your beats per minute. Okay? So I know that this song is 160 right off the bat. So essentially, the whole project is 160 beats per minute. So that's just a basic thing. This is to set up your project file. To play, you hit the space button, and you can pause it as well. Now, there's a difference between pattern and song. Pattern it deals with the MIDI stuff. You export the MIDI as a pattern, and you get the little bars that go up and down. This is the piano roll stuff. And the song is literally the song. So whenever you export something, you have to have song selected, and then you can export it as WAV or MP3. So
if it's a MIDI, it doesn't really matter, right? You can do it as pattern. I've done that.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Oops, my bad.
It's okay.
So here's the vocals. So here's the progress bar up the top, and that pretty much just says what's playing. So if you have multiple of a channel, you'll have double. Okay, so that. There's this volume bar up here which says if you're within a safe range. If it gets into the red, that means you're going over the 0.0 decibels and that you're clipping. However, sometimes it's okay to go into the red because, and this is specifically meant for voice acting, it's okay to go into the red a little bit because there's a little bit of clipping, but there's no way you would be able to you would want to turn the volume all the way up and then you'd hear the clip. At that point you wouldn't even hear it. So if it stays under the red, you're good. So let's say we increase the volume, and then it gets to uncomfortable heights. Right? So that's one way. And let's say we want to cut an audio file, because when you're doing voice acting and you have a lot of different kind of you do different tries. You don't do one try, save the file, one try, save the file. You do multiple. So there's this thing called the slice tool right here, and you hold shift and you just cut it. Now when we go to the draw tool, which is the moving stuff, you can make it shorter and you can move this around and all that. Okay, and I have it snapped to half a set, but if you hold Alt, I'm going to zoom in, Control space wheel. See, it's kind of snapping to these little things. If you want to make it not snap, you hold Alt, and then you can kind of go like that. Okay, that's more of a music thing, but you can cut stuff. Now let's. Okay, so this is called Make Unique as Sample. Let's say we have this audio file right here, and we want to export just this. Suppose this is your voice and you just want to export this. Double click and you select it, and then you export it, and then you can export as selected. It does that. Even just live streaming is a pain in the ass. So that's how you select it. Now if you make Unique as Sample, watch this. So first off, here are the stuff that I'm going to delete this because this was nothing. So here's the audio clips that we dragged into the file, and it says audio clips right here. If we go to all, then we have all the channels up, and these are just basic default stuff to say that hey, you can do stuff like that. So if we create this as unique and we just save it, then this becomes a whole new audio thing. So so we just brought that in, and it's literally that. There's nothing else that's taken. See, there's no audio, there's no wave going on there.
Yeah, I actually do that with TechTAS as well.
Yeah, it's that's pretty much the same principle.
It's a different program, but
it's the same principle. I'm familiar with Audacity as well, and I'm going to show you some neat stuff with pitch shifting. So this is part one. There's this thing called new tone, and I think this is going to be particularly interesting to you. Actually, I'm gonna go in. So here is the workspace. This button up here. Here is the audio stuff that you have. Like it's this thing. We'll just get rid of this, make it easier. This is piano roll, but I don't ever click this button because I have other ways of getting to the piano roll. This is your browser plugin stuff. So if you want stuff like dubstep kick,
you want to just pull them out, you can.
Yeah. You can do that. And this is the mixer. The mixer is where all the effects, all the kind of cool stuff happens. So let's say I want to pitch shift this. I'm gonna select this. So right now I have this wave file here.
Like a little pitch thing over there.
This doesn't actually affect the pitch. I don't actually know what this does. If you want to change the pitch, you do it like that.
Oh.
In the time stretching area. So you can make some nightcore. Now, the thing with that is if you adjust the pitch. Oh, actually, it didn't shorten this time, and I'm not sure why. So there's resample, which. Okay, that's odd. It's not doing it. Anyways, you do pro default. If you want to make this go faster or slower, you can stretch it. So up here where it says zero cross, just uncheck that and just leave it as blank. But stretch.
What is zero cross exactly?
Okay, watch. So if I want to cut the audio file here, I cut it. Whoops. Exactly there, and it cuts it exactly on that line. If I have zero cross on, it's going to do some stupid nonsense where it doesn't cut exactly on that line. So to do multiple backspaces, you do Control Alt and then Z.
Okay.
So if you have zero cross selected, see it's like it doesn't do it directly on that line, and it's a stupid pain in the ass for syncing, and I don't know why that exists. So you just take that out, and then you can do that. Now, if we do stretch, and we stretch it, slower. Stretch it.
Yeah, like you just literally elongate the time.
Yep. So that's stretching, and to get it back to normal, suppose like you did a voice sample and you really like it, but you set it too slow, then you can do it again and it'll be faster, like if you just stretch it. Sometimes, if you are on resample, the pitch will change as well. So what you'd want to do is you want to keep it at pro default.
What are these other options, like with the pro transient tonal?
No one uses any of these. Everyone uses pro default.
Okay.
And when you've kind of done that, and you want to get it back to normal, this is time stretching right here. And we right click and go to none, and then it gets back to the same length. So yeah. Now I'm going to show you a little bit about pitch shifting. I'm going to go into a random channel. So I went into the mixer, and it's like I want to start applying some effects. So I go to here, and this is a native plugin. It's called New Tone. New Tone is very interesting in that it reads the pitch. It's kind of like Guitar Hero, no, Rock Band when you're with the vocals. So now you're into this interface. Is this recording? Cool.
Yeah, it is.
You're into this interface, and it says exactly what note everything is on.
Does it tell you the key?
No, it doesn't tell you the key. You have to like go into you have to either memorize the scale or
yeah.
I
know what it
so
is.
if I want to see so you can adjust stuff.
Have it all just be one monotone thing.
Yeah, people
I'm genuinely curious to know how that sounds.
Yeah, sure, it's very interesting. People do it for the meme. So So
It's not like when you hear it like that, I feel like you can actually start harmonizing if you just have multiple layers of it.
that is exactly what people do. That's what you use this to harmonize, and you use this for pitch correction. So if you notice that there's a singer that's off key, and you want to get them on key, you literally center the vocals.
Like wait, what do you like? I don't get what you just did.
Okay, so right here.
So why is everything like kind? Oh, is it actually like literally just tuning them pretty much?
Yeah. So here's the word. So it's like, you know, at the center of this word, it kind of drifts to C sharp, like C sharp, and then it's like D and all that stuff. And then you got a little bit of pitch variation in there, and that's good. So if you want to center the vocals, you get it onto the true key. Now, as you can see, the singer is actually very good in that they're singing relatively on key. But if you want to get it perfectly on key, so that's the original. Now we're gonna.
That doesn't get played. Is that just like, what is that?
That's a glitch. Oh. So now, if you center it, it's exactly on key. It's very subtle, but the singer was already like good on key. Now, variation.
Okay, well, quick question. So it's pretty much auto tuning.
Essentially, yeah. It's like auto tuning, but instead of having it automatically do it, you do it manually. So it's like manual tuning. So like, if the singer sounded like really like couldn't sing, and they sounded like this, and you just censor it, and it's like, yo.
Okay, why did that guy red? Is that because you selected it? Yeah, no question. Why did that guy red?
Oh yeah, I selected it.
Okay.
So this is really interesting in that if you want to make your voice like deeper and stuff, like if there's a impossibly low note, you can like you can do.
So you just did Control A to keep all the intervals together.
Well, just Control A select all.
Yeah, Control A select all. That's
so let's say I want to do finite correcting on this one note. The E here, right here. So this is kind of like an auto detection. It's like, oh yeah, here's the average note. The blue is the average key for the thing. So let's cut it. And now,
okay, you actually.
Yeah, we use this little kind of.
Where is that? Oh, look at that little.
Yeah. Now you can shift this up and down. And then you can do that. It's really neat. And let's say I don't like that drop here because it's like da 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 da, and then like that.
You can just cut that and raise it up.
Here's the interesting part. You can take this and do the variations of it, so you can actually like fix it.
Wait, so what did you just do? Did you just double click that?
Yeah, so here's the variation. This is variation, and this is volume. So if I want it to be quiet here, I literally just kind of like open this up, and then I bring the volume down. So you can see the wave in the background getting like smaller. That's the intensity
of the frequencies. How did you just access that, by the way?
So you just kind of like. So it looked like this.
Like the way step before. Like how'd you?
Oh, double click.
Oh, you double. Okay.
Double click. Yep. So let's say I want this to not have too much variation, but when it comes to singing, it's good to have a little bit of pitch variation. But if you wanted to make it like snap to like a true note right away, you just kind of do that.
And it is possible then.
Yeah. And it's good to have a little bit of sway, because if you had no variation, then it sounds kind of robotic. And that's kind of how auto-tune works. So, by the way, Alt and scroll wheel kind of extends it this way, and Control scroll wheel zooms in and out.
You do Control Alt, does it go like all stupid?
Control Alt, you select everything, and then boom.
It's one random note at the way bottom.
Yeah, that's yeah. So that's essentially new tone in a nutshell, and you can even take this and export it as a MIDI. So let's say I want to have a send, so I'm just gonna insert a piano here. I'm just gonna put in a random piano.
So you can actually make that as you can actually just export it as a piano thing.
You can export this vocal as a piano. That's how people do acapellas to pianos right away. They just do it easily. So now wherever the green light is, that's the send to channel. So it's like I'm sending whatever information to this channel.
So they're all pretty much just like different lanes, pretty much. That's one way to see it, right?
Exactly, yeah. And each one of these is its own audio thing.
Okay.
So I click on the MIDI button.
Nexus was what now?
I click on the MIDI button, and boom, right there.
Okay, yeah.
It's right there.
That's it. So how's it sound then?
Let's find out. and then you just clean it up a bit. Anyways,
Dude,
that's
you
kind of like
fuck the audio that much. Like, how does the original sound if you do that process?
the
I mean,
original
like,
MIDI.
hmm?
The original MIDI.
Yeah, like let's say like you didn't change the pitches. I mean, like you center the pitches a little bit.
Oh, it'll just snap to the. It'll snap. You won't have a half MIDI. It literally just snaps.
Okay, but like I'm genuinely curious how it sounds. This might be beneficial for me.
Okay.
If I'm trying to look for something. I think we fucked it up a little too much.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, you gotta turn that F to an E.
Yeah. Okay, so
Wait, can I actually do this with like the demo version of 11?
yes, you can do. 11 will give you everything except for letting you save the file.
No, I have to export it.
Yeah, you can export it, but you can't save the project file.
Oh,
Which is, like,
if I
crucial.
just why can you export it as a MIDI then? That's
Yeah,
cool.
you can export it.
Alright, that's
You
all
can-
I honestly need to do.
You're fine. So let's try to bring this into a MIDI. So that's a send to.
Like, just go back to how to do that again. I just want to see it.
What do you want to do?
Like, okay, so you want to just make that into a MIDI.
Yeah.
So what'd you do?
I'm into new tone, and I look here, and the send to is right, and then I'll just hit the MIDI button. The send to piano roll even so
A
up
little
here.
staircase thing. I can send to piano. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you just kind of look at it, and oh, there it is.
That's cute.
And then let's listen to it.
I gotta go clean it up, right?
Yeah, so it's just to give you a general idea. So it's just quick and dirty, and then you can do your own arrangement or like you can transpose
Music.
it. So yeah, lots of freedom.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's new tone. New tone is interesting, and here's the thing with new tone, is that so if I shift this all up, and I want to bring this down.
Jesus Christ. Okay, listen.
So that sounds like ass. But to send it into the project file, you go to send to playlist, click it, and then right there it is. So now here's the original, and here's the one like you'll know by all the markers, and you just right click to delete, and then you can listen to it. All right. So that's how to use new tone. I'm going to show you how to use effects now. So no. Actually, yes, I want to use this. So, here's how to use effects. So, suppose here's your... Oh, also, it'll have this stupid thing where it'll play in the background if you just do it. You just literally... To get rid of an effect, go to replace, and you go to none.
Oh.
Now, let's put some effects on this.
Like, what's your plan? What are you gonna throw in
So
there?
I'm just going to show you all like different how to do an effect, and then from there you play along with it. Because what you sent me earlier, yours had a delay effect on it.
Oh no, I took out the delay effect.
Yeah, but no, I mean like the delay effect was in the final thing that you showed me.
Yeah, no, but the original.
Yeah, the original.
I used the original one for the MIDI.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
No. Okay, wait. Let me show you what the delay.
Okay,
effect
wait.
is. So right here, when you click on it, this is your effects bar, and this is directly linked to the mixer. So let's say I'm going to send this to channel 2. Okay.
Okay.
Effect 2. You can see it's selected here. Now in here we can have whatever kind of effect we want. Let's say we want to give some reverb to it. Sounds like a bigger room. You want to increase the size of the room, or you want to create, affect it. Sounds like singing in a bathroom.
There's dry. What's ER and then wet?
ER is the early reflection level. So when it hits the wall and comes back to you, that's the first wave, and the wet is like the second wave.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. So you can play with this.
Jesus Christ. Sounds like
Yeah. So this has a lot of really cool stuff. And then let's say I want to get rid of it. None.
Oh, you can also change it up if your heart desired.
Yeah. Now let's go to let's use reverb again as an example.
Reverb too.
Because the first reverb sucked, so they have reverb too. So now here's the interesting thing. Wherever you see a knob to it, you can create an automation clip. And what an automation clip is saying, I want you to have the effect here, but not here. So watch this. automation clip. Now I have this bar going like this, and also you can extend channels like that.
So you wait. Does that mean like?
This
May I
means-
guess
yes.
what might happen?
Yep.
Oh, the heck! You're just
Yeah.
you're confusing.
Guess what will happen?
So like you only this first part will have the echo and then
Yes.
or the reverb, and then this part going along, and then it gradually starts having the.
That's exactly it.
Can't you also like? I mean, you could, as long as you play around with it, you could theoretically may have enough. So
Yeah.
for example, you could just like shorten it to actually only have this specific area, or you want it elongated.
Exactly.
And you, or I mean,
Yeah.
you also could just play around with like the actual lines, I guess.
Yeah, you could. But here's how exactly what you described. So up here, like it's like, oh, where's the little, the arrow thing? It's like it's right up here. You go to this, and then you can shorten it, and then there's only that effect. The neat thing about this, you can stamp it as well.
Okay.
So it's really neat that way.
I can do this on 11, huh? Just.
You can do, yeah, everything. Even the early versions of FL Studio had the same thing. So anywhere that you see a knob, you can create an automation clip. Now, for voice acting, there's something that'll help a lot. Is dB meter, the decibel meter, and this shows how the volume of it. So right now, it's in a very safe range. It's not at 0, because 0 is like when it's, that's when it's at its like optimal like peak, right? But then if you start going up to here, that's when it starts clipping, and that's when people do bass distortion memes. So
Okay.
decibel meter, it really helps. Suppose you do a long vocal passage, right? And actually, I'm going to show you exactly an example that I did for one of my mashups when it came to volume balancing. Suppose you have a long kind of like speech, and you notice that some parts of the audio dips, right?
Yeah, so you can just pretty much like change it.
Yeah. So here's one example. Whoops. I'll zoom in. So here's this part. And this, I know the singer is supposed to be louder here, but my acapella extraction software, like if you look at here's the master, by the way. This is for the entire project.
Like the overall general thing, and
Yeah.
then you have like each individual one telling you like how much the volume for these, so you can adjust them accordingly.
Exactly. So
That's pretty
if
straightforward.
I have a decibel meter and I'm looking at, so it kind of
that
dipped a
refers
little
to the
bit.
master one.
This, yeah, because it's
Okay.
attached to the master. Here's the master, and here's the effect on the master. So if you wanted to put reverb on your entire track, you could just put it and link it to the master. So that kind of dipped there, right? And I wanted it to be a lot more louder. So what I can do is, on the vocals, which are on, I'm going to put it to effect 3 this time. So now it's on 3.
How do you actually do you just like drag it left or right on it?
And you just drag it up and down.
Oh, up and down. Okay.
Yep. So here's the way how to do volume stuff. You're doing a long speech, you notice that your volume is dipping at areas. Double click, where it says volume up here. Remember, whenever there's a knob, you can automate it. Create automation clip. Boom, right there. Here's your volume. So if you want, and I want that part to be louder, so I can literally, I right click to create a
little
point.
Point, and then you can fix
Right
around with
click,
it.
right click, right click. Yeah, and then you can kind of like,
Ooh. Can you also delete them? I imagine
Yep.
you can.
right click, delete.
Oh, can you just not press like delete or something?
No.
Keyboard? No.
So that's how you kind of like balance the volumes of it. Volume balancing is really important when it comes to, like, especially if you don't have like a really professional setup, or you notice that there's some stuff going on that's like, if you use noise removal and you notice that chunks of your vocals were missing, as in like the frequency range, then you can be like, oh, I need to boost this part up a little bit. So here is an interesting thing that makes music and sound very interesting. Okay, I put it on effect 3. There's this thing called parametric EQ. Now this is the frequency range of the vocals. So here we have 20 hertz, and here we have 10,000 hertz. So humans can hear between 20 to 20,000, and here it's mostly within the 1,000 hertz. So as you can, like, this little bar up here, this little number up here, it tells you, like, what you're actually, like, if you hover over something, it'll tell you exactly what's going on up there. So
Pretty colorful.
yeah, so I can kind of like scoop that lower, or I can like kind kind of like remove whole chunks of vocals. See, you know, walkie-talkie. Lots of cool stuff. So this is parametric EQ. You can right-click and reset it all. Now, if you notice that, you know, sometimes the vocal might be a little boomy. So this microphone's ass in that it emphasizes low frequencies like mad. So what you do is essentially just drop it down, and then it'll cancel out a lot of the crap that's happening there. And then of course you can automate that as well. So you can say, I want that kind of scooping. I want to decrease the frequencies there.
In a specific area.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay.
Yeah. So that's one thing. And volume balancing is really. Should I show you a project file? No, not yet. So I showed you how to do pitch shifting, stretching, cutting. Do you want to learn how to do meme stuff now?
Actually, there's always been a song I couldn't ever actually hear by pitch.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, it's kind of like I just want to pretty much figure everything out, like let it all sink in.
Yeah.
Then just experiment, fiddle around.
Yeah, because as long as you know that, because I didn't know that you could do things like automation clips, right? Suppose, okay, well, check this out. So I have my audio file here, and I had no idea that I could like completely pan it to the left ear or to the right ear. You know, you can completely pan it between ear to ear. And like, I didn't know that, oh, you can create an automation clip here. It's just show you that there are options.
So you just keep right-clicking stuff and it gives you random options for something.
Exactly, yeah. So that's it. I'm going to show you a project file really quick. So this kind of combines the aspect of like a MIDI and volume balancing and different effects and stuff. Okay, so let me just gonna wait for it to open.
You hungry, by the way?
Huh? I just ate dinner. If you, I can make you something if you want.
No, that's fine. I was just wondering if you wanted to go out to eat.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down to reach. Now, here's the project file of a song, well, of a mashup that I did. So here is like the volume balancing. So if we listen to it without the volume, by the way, this is to mute a channel. Yeah. So let's listen to this. Like, so I didn't like how that was, so I essentially kind of balanced it out. So it sounds a little more balanced.
I honestly, because we're only wearing one pair of earphones.
Yeah, it's hard.
I can't really tell the difference, to be honest.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Will I tell on the recording?
What?
Will I be able to tell on the recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you put both earphones and then you come to isolate yourself, then you'll be able to hear all the stuff.
Subtle differences.
Yeah. So so that's all volume balancing, right? And now this mashup has vocal splicing and sampling stuff. So here's where it kind of comes into play. I have this MIDI right here, and these are all the audio files that I have in the project. So
these are all just different channels that align with okay.
These don't align to that. These are just how many audio files you have in the project.
Oh, okay. So okay.
So these exist, but you can literally click and drag it. But this is this is where all of the stuff is happening.
That's all the magic.
Yeah.
That stuff is where all the magic happens, and then this part is just if you need to pull something, you pull it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the sample. So this is the sample that I had. You can literally click and drag it, and then here's your sample. It's right here. See, you can play it. Yeah. So that's the kind of thing. Now, what's neat about it is that you go into it by doing this. You go to the piano roll, and now you can have this whole piano. So it's and then you can do stuff like that. This is kind of how I did your MIDI swap, and you know how to do MIDI swaps, right? Now, here's the neat thing about it is that you can
pitch bend it.
You can pitch bend it. So without this little marker, it sounds like this. Wait, it sounds like. But with this thing, it says, I'm at G, but now I want to ramp up to A. So it sounds like this. What? It sounds like. So it sounds like instead of this. So it kind of ramps up. And do you know how to place down MIDI patterns, right? So it's like, oh, I have pattern 5 selected. I click on pattern 5 and I just drop it in, and then there it is. Yeah. Okay. So
like, I've done like something completely freaking different, to be honest. I just like, okay, here's my voice. Here's like a little meme voice I put, and I forgot exactly what I right click. I just kept, and within a certain area, I think somewhere maybe.
Yeah, somewhere.
Right. It's like, oh yeah, right click that into a piano roll and then import a MIDI, and I was like, okay, there you go.
Yeah, that's literally it.
That's what I did, to be honest. Yeah. I was like, okay, it works. I mean, if there's more things to, if I can refine my stupid ass thing even more, then
yeah,
I'm not going to object. I mean, it's already kind of out of tune, so it's like I kind of just accepted it for what it was.
Yeah, well, it's a meme. It doesn't have to be. So here's an example as to what cut itself does. So I have this thing, right? So now we have a lot of like MIDIs, like we have a lot of notes back to back, and now we have a bunch of stuff going together. So if we get rid of cut itself, this is what it sounds like.
You kind of just overlap.
It's overlapping like crazy. You just cut itself. It's very clean, very clean. And
okay, so how about this then?
Yep.
Why don't you take my audio? I'm not sure if are you able to download on Facebook? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can.
How would you do it then?
How would I do it? Okay, I'll show you exactly how.
Yeah, you get any song. I'm genuinely curious of this entire process. Pick any MIDI, by the way.
So if I want to,
why don't you go to a new one too?
Here's here's Dodge Retainer.
Of course you do this. Okay.
So this is what I did.
Oh yeah, you also want that freaking reverb too, you bastard.
Yeah. See, like it's linked to okay. See, here's the thing. I have this thing, and this is
okay. Well, what else?
Effects 1. Now this is because I made it unique as a sample. So here's your Dodge clip. So here it is.
Okay.
So I had to like pump up the volume like crazy, but that's literally it. Now
you really cut that in half, made 2 different samples, and then threw them wherever.
So here's part 1. Here's part 2. So you get that little big room feel. Okay. So this is effect 1, and this is all. It's actually effect 2. So effect 1 is a bit of reverb, and effect 2 is just a different kind of reverb because I wanted like different levels of reverb. So I literally just imported a MIDI in. You know.
Okay, so
that's literally it. By the way, if you want to play this, if you're in the piano roll and you want to play only this, your pattern, and you only play what you're seeing here, because this is essentially a pattern.
So wait, so how did you get? I imagine like I'm not sure. Was your MIDI just like divided into like left hand, right hand?
That was exactly it.
Okay, because
yeah.
What if it doesn't?
Then you gotta like filter it out yourself.
Okay.
Or you literally just do the whole MIDI by ear.
Okay.
Which is a pain in the ass, but it gets the job done.
Because mine was literally just here. I just imported everything, see what happens, kind of deal.
Yeah. Because sometimes it'll be like attached, and you know it'll be clear like what's the highs and what's the lows. So actually, I think the Entertainer had all of it. I didn't even think it had left hand and right hand, but it's like all the other MIDI stuff was scattered here. So I literally just selected all of that. I just go like, I just went like select tool up here, and just go whoop, and then just go. So, what I do for here's some Gangnam Style shit, and I'm gonna show you. Actually, no, that's not a good example. I'm not. This is a Final Fantasy III battle theme mapped to some Gangnam Style shit. And do you want to hear it?
We'll do it later.
Okay. Anyways, here's the project file. So, you do stupid shit like. Okay, so that's essentially it. Or sometimes what I like to like if the MIDI is not available, I like to do it by ear, and I'll show you how I kind of all this stuff. I'm gonna go back to Dodger Tainer. What I like to do is, if there's not a MIDI, I'll have the instrumental play. In this case, if it's the entertainer, where's the entertainer? I did. Oh, it was just a MIDI. So.
Okay, you said it took like 5 minutes, so like.
Yeah. So
I can repeat this entire process. I'm genuinely curious.
Okay, I'm gonna start from scratch then.
And then use my. You don't mind using the Falco KO thing, would you?
Where is it, on Facebook?
Somewhere. I sent it on Facebook.
Okay.
I'm genuinely curious to know how would you actually do this.
Sure. Yep. So one moment, let me just. I'm gonna choose like a bass song because whenever I teach MIDI, I like to use this song as an example for whatever reason. It's recording that. Oh.
You only put it to window capture, so it's only gonna look at that.
Yeah. Whenever I'm live streaming, I don't care like whatever opens, but like when it's on Facebook, that's like I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take a. This is a file that I like to use to teach people how to open.
Okay, how's it sound?
Oops.
Can't you like copy that real quick or no?
That's good. So I know this song is 100 beats per minute just right off the bat. Okay. So this is how to get your MIDIs in the right speed.
Yeah. Yep. I know that much.
Yeah. So
I had to fiddle with that a little.
Here's the song. The song's lit. So
and you're gonna use my
yeah.
Okay, I want to hear this.
Okay, so on Facebook you have
yeah, it's the spirit after I started contemplating
how much meme potential,
the morality of doing these things.
This is literally what Siva Gunner is. It's literally just MIDI swapping, and people are like, oh yeah, you know, you make mashups, why MIDI swap? It's like, dude, they're both freaking easy. Let me just. Where's your?
Keep going up, up. Way past that. Up. Down.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
So this one's kind of difficult because you go kind of like that. So
I'm genuinely curious to know how you do this.
Okay, first off, I'm gonna have to get that audio file. So actually, wait, can I just right click and save it?
I don't know.
Of course not. Okay, so I'm just gonna use my ghetto ass window recording software to just kind of like record a sound.
So is this how people, like, if you get like a MIDI or something, you can just like, oh yeah, you can just get like really good. Is this how you pretty much make sound fonts?
Well, sound font is essentially like whenever you have a song in like an older system, you literally have the one sound effect. Like if it's a piano key, it's literally that one piano key.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the MIDI stuff. So I'm just gonna call it whack.
Oh wow.
Just gonna record that. Good. Okay, so now I have it. Now the key to a successful MIDI. Let's see, here's the audio file.
Okay.
Oops, kind of glitched up.
How often does FL Studio crash for you?
How many times has it crashed?
Yeah.
Like once or twice.
Okay.
So I'm gonna trim this a little bit. So I'm essentially just kind of like clicking and dragging, and I want it to start exactly because if you have a little bit of a leeway here, that's no good. So it's that's fine. So now this is kind of a difficult thing in that, well, first I'm just going to make unique a sample. It's going to be called part 1 because I don't want any of that excess crap that got rid of. So now that I made it as a sample, look, all that crap that happened before is gone. It's literally there's nothing there. Now you go so that kind of pitches up a bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run into new tone. So I'm just going to go to random channel, new tone. So here's the thing. So you see, you went from G all the way to like an A a bit. So let's so I'm just gonna center it. Oh, let's sure.
Holy shit.
So now that's like, hold on, let me just kind of.
Holy fuck.
So it doesn't sound too good, but like honestly, given the sample, like it's gonna. Now, well, we could do this, or we could just use this as like, where'd it go? Oh yeah, it's all the way at the front. So I could use this. So that's literally like a true key versus this, but that sounds cleaner. So generally, if the key is like, if it's like a long sung note, and I want to gonna do pitch shifting on that sung note, but I notice that it ramps up, I'd use that to like correct it. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. So now we got that, and I have a MIDI to this, but I'm gonna show you how I kind of like do my own MIDIs.
Okay.
So. I'm gonna do. So,
I'm gonna get this.
first, I like to make sure that, because these are like counts, like 1, 2, like
They're
1,
all
2,
beats?
3, 4. Yeah, those are beats. So I like to get it on a proper beat. So I know that this is what a beat looks like. So I just kind of like do that. Like. So now I have this plugin called Nexus, and it essentially gives me a nice piano to work with. So whenever you want to like put in a new sound, you can like click and drag it if you're using it from here. But since I'm using like a plugin, which is kind of like I install the thing and I'm putting it in there, I'm just gonna go right click, insert, and I'm gonna go to Nexus, and I'm just gonna go to piano, and it's just whatever you choose. Okay, now I'm gonna do a piano roll with it. So Nexus, this is what I like to do. I like to just put in a note. Just put.
Middle C.
Yeah. And then I just like to put it there. Da 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 da.
What are you doing?
It's kind of harder to do with the one ear.
Move that there.
So here it is, right?
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to map this. So I did it on the piano so I can get the notes right. Now what I like to do is I like to just go here, I Control L, Control C. So now I copied the MIDI data right there. So I'm just gonna get rid of this now, and remember that sample. I'm just gonna go to a new pattern. So right now this is pattern. So if I put down the pattern, if I go like bap bap, it's literally gonna just show this. But if I go to pattern 2, it's like, oh, I'm in pattern 2. Now this is like its own thing.
Yeah.
Now-
It sounds like new group of things.
Exactly. So I go to a piano roll, that, and then let's listen to it. Now I don't like the way that sounds, so I'm gonna cut itself.
Wait, can you hear it with and without cut?
Okay, here's without cut. Okay, now here's with cut. Now
Okay, I see.
that's not in key, because honestly this thing thinks it's defaulted as a C right now. So what I like to do, I'm just gonna go to pattern 1. I place down my piano, right? So, and then I'm gonna put down, I go pattern 2, which is this. Place down pattern 2, and then This is hard because it's kind of like the pitch goes like that.
It's such a
It's very difficult.
Lower. There you go. That one was also there.
Yeah. So there it goes. So now I got rid of the piano, and then that's how I do it. Now if you have a MIDI, you can see how easy it is. You literally drop the MIDI in, put a thing with it's all the way through.
Yeah.
So yeah, so when I do like make unique a sample, it's literally just isolating this. So
yeah,
you know.
that's what I meant. Yeah. But as long as I just make it cut itself in, it sounds like it's not a lot of.
Yeah. So that's it. You can do really complicated stuff. Like if your MIDI is like, if you're doing like a MIDI of Through the Fire and Flames, you could literally make it like a complex Nico Nico Doga edit if you wanted to. What?
This is my audio. Being like tampered like this. It's like what is this?
This is your life now. So I'm gonna show you like an example of everything kind of coming together. Oh boy, where is it? Oh, lots of stupid outs here. Where is it? Bruh, where? Huh? Okay, here it is. So this is a combination of all of the kind of techniques that I've shown you, and you'll be able to see like what it's like put into use. It's like it's really easy to understand it when you see it in a project file. So the purpose of today is just to show you that there are options when you get to do this stuff. You can pan it to the left ear, you can pan it to the right ear. You can, anytime there's a knob, you can automate it. You learned about EQing, which is scooping some frequencies down. You know, you can do walkie-talkie effect, you can put delay on stuff. And when you see this project file, it'll kind of like all make sense.
No, I'm starting to get it. I just need to actually work with it.
I'll go play with it. And you can play with it like right here, and then I'll just give you like feedback, because sometimes shit will happen. It's like, yo, what the hell is this? And then it's like, oh,
I'll figure it out.
Because FL Studio will do these aspos. It's like, suppose you do like a MIDI, and then your sample stays the same pitch, so it'll have the wah 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 wah, and then it doesn't go wah 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 wah. And that's because your sample always needs to be on resample. Whenever you're doing pitch shifts, resample. If you're doing like syncing to exactly like keeping the same tone, you go to Pro Default, or it might be called generic A3 on your computer. So as you can see, these project files take forever to open.
You're pulling up a lot of assets, aren't you?
Yeah. And actually, I'm gonna show.
Computer's like dying, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna show you some voice work that I did and what I did with it to kind of make it not as amateurish. And even then, I had a shitty mic, so of course it's gonna sound amateurish. Almost there.
Well, you really need like at least a decent mic.
Yeah, you need
like
a decent mic.
The most you do is just noise removal on Audacity, and then you throw it out there and hope for the best. That's honestly like the most you can do. Anything more than that, honestly, it's just like you kind of just like they look at that rather than the actual voice.
Yeah, it's like a schemazzing.
Yeah.
So, here's this thing called delay, and this is what the delay does. So I have this audio sample. It's called personality. So that's what they did to your voice. See, this is like, I want delay on this part right here. So, and it kind of trails off. That's kind of what they did. And with the delay, this is map to number 1. So here's the delay. You get to adjust how much time, like if I do this up, or if I have it shorter, or that was too short.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
I like this all. It's just a different way of the same. I think from Audacity.
Yeah.
I'm just comparing it.
So that's delay, and there are some things. So if you want to extend like your vocals, and you want to have it like, because here's what I'm working with right now. I mean, this is what I'm working with. So if I wanted to do all I and just kind of like stretch it out, kind of like what I did here. It's essentially just cutting it and looping it over and over again.
Yeah.
And to have audio files blend into each other, you can do that by declicking, because if it's only for out only, it's going to sound choppy.
Yeah, you can do that.
But then here it's like it's a little cleaner.
But it's just transient and generic.
Yeah, it's like a little smoother, and that's only if you're like singing. But I don't think that's particularly helpful. But so as you can see, there are certain kind of ways you can organize it. So you can have things like, here's my pattern, and I can play it. And it's essentially just, when it comes to music, or if you want to make memes, it's just like overlapping it and you're layering stuff. So you can have different things going on at the same time. For example, if I have this, and then I can have the melody, and I can have this, and then stretch out, and then you can just have these layers on layers. And if you go to things like this, these are like all the kind of stuff that I used in that. So I'm going to show you a bit of voice work that I've done in the past. So you know how there's Gangnam Core, or like collaborative mashup albums. My friends and I decided to do a really stupid one called Pooh Core, which is Winnie the Pooh mashups. Which we thought that was good for some reason. So here's my voice.
Everyone, we are very happy to announce the release of Pooh Core.
So that's my voice, and of course it kind of sounds like crap because it's popping and all that stuff. So I have it set to effect 1, and I put a little bit of reverb and a little bit of delay in some parts. So for the reverb, I have nothing here, nothing.
Everyone, we are very
no
happy
delay
to announce the release.
But then I want to do some stupid shit like this.
It's really funny that only one.
What?
It's really funny that only one person outside.
Shit.
So we really hope you enjoy the. It's really funny that. It's really fun. No.
So you can do delay.
Outside.
I don't know why.
Wait, what was that? The Windows XP?
Yeah. So it's like.
What the fuck?
And then I put some 808s on it for some reason, and it was like, trap music. And then it just. You can do a lot of stupid shit with it, like, and then.
It's just layering and layering over things, pretty much.
Yep.
Okay, so when you do like, reverb and
only one person.
how come like some things don't like? Unless I'm probably not noticing, I can't hear it because I'm only wearing one headphone. But how come some things like you have some echoes going on, but how come it doesn't echo on like your other ones?
Because I put an automation clip on it. So remember when I had the knob?
I'm just trying to look at it. It doesn't seem.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make this a little simpler. Here's all the. Actually, I don't need to do that. So here are the effect channels. Whoops. The effect channels here, and they're linked to this.
Oh, they're just specifically linked to. Okay.
Now remember when I'm like, yes, I want the effect here versus no, I don't want the effect here. Because if I did it like that,
then you get some weird shit.
One person outside of West that contributed to this album.
So that's like, that's what it is. And, again, I want delay, I put delay.
One person outside of West that contributed to
So yeah, that's essentially, if you want to do effects and stuff like that, well, this is mostly for the people who are doing like the mastering, the final stuff. Because when you showed me your thing,
down. No. wait.
Final product of the clip. See, you did the That's literally a delay.
Yeah.
But you can also do that manually as well. So suppose if I want to do.
We really hope you enjoy it.
Okay,
we really
so
hope you enjoy it. Enjoy it.
So let's say I want this thing right here. If I want to do like a manual kind of reverb on it, let's say
enjoy it. Enjoy it.
So
you can just like keep copy and pasting it, and then just have it be lower and lower and lower.
Exactly.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
And then I can put in my remember volume. I can right click, do an automation clip with that, and now I can. This is what they did. They didn't use really a delay effect. I think they did it yours manually. So,
enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Like that. And then it just kind of trails off. So this just goes to show.
Also, automation clips just link to that only with that specific thing.
Yes.
Okay.
So
makes sense now. Okay.
Volume, automation clip, effects, automation clip. You can automation clip anything.
Okay. So how do you make an automation clip? I just want to see it again. I know. I keep repeating myself.
Right click on volume.
It's volume. Okay. And then you just mess around with it.
Or if you see a knob, like time stretching or stuff, literally an automation clip that. Effects, automation clip, everything.
So they have different automation clips for various effects.
Yeah,
right.
You can do many different effects. You can. There's one that's like a DJ scratch. So if you want to make it like that, you're in like a spaceship, and then all communications have just kind of like crashed or something, and you want your voice to grow like or something, or like to go slow mo, you can do that. And there's this thing called gross beat, and you can do shit like so that's like a little DJ scratch. But then if you wanted to do it, you can like go this is an easy one. Okay. What? Excuse me? Bro, why aren't you working? Oh, holy shit. Yeah. So you can do shit like that. Or something. You can do stuff like that. And it essentially just like stretches the time and all that. So, yeah, you can do like beats and stuff, like do instrumental stuff if you want, like it's just a MIDI, and then and then
get all these cool sounds. It's just part of FL Studio.
Well, this is part of FL Studio.
Yeah.
This sound was in FL Studio particularly, but like my beats came from other packs as well. Like if you want sound effects and shit.
Did they all come from FL Studio? Like this one actually sounds like a pretty legit drum kit, so it's like,
yeah,
from what I'm hearing.
Well, the FL Studio drum kit is kind of lacking, so I don't know. I just kind of like I kind of downloaded my own, and then
like what do you like? Or what are these sounds?
These sounds?
Like where'd you pull them? Like what's the actual sound file type?
So here's a kick.
What's the type? Like
it's this is a wave file.
It's a wave. Oh, it's actual.
So it's lossless.
Okay. Oh wow.
You can do all the shit you want with it. I have
I'm thinking MIDIs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have a 50 megabyte sound clip of Selena Gomez moaning because it was literally like a whole like there are these things called song stems, and it's like an individual portion of a song, and apparently her stem, like there was a stem of her moaning. So it was a 50 megabyte file of just her going or something like that. But yeah, this is all pattern stuff. Now, this is an important thing that I think that it will actually help you, is I have my kicks and my claps, right? So, kick, clap, kick, clap. My kick has one effect on it, and it's a bit of EQ, to make it circle kind of stuff like that. And this kind of clapping sound is like really, it sounds like it's in a big room, right? That's because it's linked to number two, reverb. And yeah, and that's what, you know, you can do mashups and stuff.
As long as like just reinforce this idea, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. You pretty much just make MIDI files sound absolutely fantastic then.
Yeah, because a MIDI by itself is just.
I mean, it's just information to tell you what notes to play.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the sound fonts are. I mean.
That's where, yeah.
Sound fonts.
That's exactly it. That's where all the stuff comes from. Like, you know.
I'm so used. Whenever I look at that, just as an aside, it's something completely minor. I'm just so used. When I see like A sharp, G sharp, I'm like,
It's confusing.
I'm so used to seeing it as a flat.
Yeah, it's confusing. Also, here's the thing when it comes to MIDIs, is if you do it like this. Oh, hold on. Wait. It will only go to the duration of the longest note. Like this one is just a regular note, right? But if you want to have that kind of, it's this little triangle up here. So I can put this here. You know, decrease it a bit. You can kind of hear it. And then the will kind of go this duration before the other one comes in. And of course, you just cut itself. You know, it's gonna cut itself.
Those emo shit.
Yeah. Can't tell you how many jokes I've heard about that. Huh?
I'm going to say that joke.
Everyone says that joke when they first discover cut itself. So yeah, that's how you manipulate MIDIs, and that's how you make memes as well.
I figured. I think. Oh my god.
So this is stupid easy, in that I didn't have a MIDI for We Are Number One, so I literally just kind of played it by ear. And you can download all these plugins, they're really cool. And I'm just going to show you another example as to how it works, and then yeah, and if you like to do like music stuff, like if you hook your piano up to a computer and you play it, you can actually get like the notes and the intensity of the notes and all the holds and the releases,
dynamics, yeah.
Get all that stuff. So here's a song that I was working with. So I'm like, oh, that sounds cool, but I don't have any stems. But then here's We Are Number One. So then, you know, and like for this part, I use a different sample. So this is mine, but then I'm gonna take the instrument from We Are Number One and then put it in to the MIDI that I kind of created. So is it coming up now? So this is literally the sound font for the We Are Number One. Yeah. And these are all made unique as a sample, because like I didn't want to like, oh screw it, I don't want to have no automation clips for delay and stuff. So this one hooked up to FX3 delay. Oh look, there's the delay, and you know, so I can get this kind of sound. Yeah, so this was pitch shifted as well, because the original kind of sounds like. So then I was like, oh, let's.
I think it cuts off here, but it has a little bit more going on.
Ah, it's because of this. It's the blending, the declick.
Bleeding.
Yeah, so
okay.
it's like. Yeah, this is just kind of like to make it a little smoother, especially for transitioning between different things. Yeah. And that's it. So like I had for this kind of We Are Number One sound sample. Is this it? Nope. Is this a vinyl lead? So it was like, that's literally the whole file, but then I kind of like, you can do whatever you want with it. Because if I didn't cut itself, and then cut itself, yeah. So that's pretty much it. You just isolate certain things as samples, and then you run with it. Yeah. And that's pretty much everything. Like that's the basic stuff at least. So everything here is kind of like your sound library, and your pattern here is linked to what's playing. So here's pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3. So all that stuff. So I think I did this on the piano first, and then this when you're doing piano stuff, here's the volume. So if I do it kind of like that, it kind of opens up a bit.
Oh, you actually did did you actually completely plug in this thing?
What?
Did you actually plug in your piano to do this?
No, I just kind of did it as a MIDI. I click, and then I listen to it, and I do.
Oh, yeah, actually.
So if I want to do that, and the neat thing is that it's not only the volume as well. You can do left and right ear panning. You know, left ear, right ear. Like if you listen to that,
I know,
that fuck with your hearing. So yeah. So I shall tell you how to pitch shift. Pitch shifting, like the whole pitch, new tone, effects. I think that's pretty much it. And do you want to know how to do meme? And this is pretty much like meme stuff.
I'll probably just leave that for me to explore.
Yeah, it's. I'm gonna show you like a meme thing. You ever watch Dojo? Have you ever heard the Pillow Men's theme?
No.
Duck. Shit, where is it? This is a Pillow Men's theme, but I replaced it with the duck sample. Shit. Where's it? Where are my memes?
So I'm gonna get this straight.
Yeah.
You just get first, let's say that really nice piano sound you have. Is that really just one note? You just pitch bend it for the MIDI thing, or is it like how's that?
No. Since this piano's a plugin, there's literally
No, for other things, like when you I don't know, Nexus was it called?
Yeah, it's not just a root C and then it's just constantly going. It's not that. It's literally just. It has its own. Actually, no. I guess it's essentially the same thing then. So here's a friggin' meme that I made. So here's some steel drums. And then I have Soulja Boy come in. And then, yeah. And then there's a little vocal chop here, which is sounds like this. So of course it's going to be hard to do with Soulja Boy, so so I essentially just cut little portions of it, and then I exported it, and then I used new tone to kind of pitch it. And then, new tone here. So it kind of sounds. And then, here's when I had a lot of fun, because the thing was so.
All these little arrows.
That's the start of whenever. I don't know. That's just what new tone does. It's like the start of whenever
a new tone. Okay.
Yeah. So there's this kind of part here, and it's so So you can see the crazy potential that you can do with this stupid shit. And yeah, that's it. So you ever need help with well, if you ever just want, this is mostly kind of just to show you kind of what goes on behind the scenes when they mess with your voice. They probably throw it into their software, and then they do all that kind of cool stuff with it. If I get your woo, your I can do whatever I want with it. I can map this to a piano roll, and then now I have mapped. It's in a pattern. Now I can click pattern, click here, and now look, it's in a pattern. Cut itself to make it clean. That sounds cool. And actually, now that I think of it, oh, it's long enough so I can actually do a little kind of thing. So if I extend that, put a little thing here. Read all that shit. Alright, let's have fun with this. Let's go. Make it stronger. And let's say we want a delay on this. So you have it here. Effects. We can make it put effect 1.
First one, okay.
And then we can go to a delay. We can make it sound like it's just a big room, so you can stack effects. And there's this thing called limiter. So
pretty spectral, man. It's just standing up to me. Dude.
Spectral where?
Yeah,
Spectral man? I don't know what this does. Ooh.
I don't quite follow.
Neither do I. So here's a what's vocoder?
Gross beat.
Whoa, Jesus. What?
What's gross beat?
Gross beat? It makes you where is it?
Bottom.
Oh, it's actually there. Okay, fine. So I don't know what Spectrum Man does, so I'm just gonna remove it.
Please, go. Yeah, none.
Also, if you want to kind of get rid of the effect, like if you want to mute the effect,
yeah,
just do that. Green button. No.
Yeah, gross beat.
Gross beat.
Down, bottom.
Oh, good. It says default now, so I can do. So that's empty, and now I can do things like. You can put some dank beat to it, or then you can kind of like pitch it. And then also you can reverse audio files as well. Suppose.
I know that isn't that how, when you say reverse, isn't that how you make instrumentals?
Oh, that's invert. So reverse is
okay.
like reverse, and invert is like.
Okay, I understand.
So like you can reverse it. The cool, eh? Yeah, and then you can just.
What's normalize? What are all these reverse polarity?
This reverse that just inverts it.
So that's what you do for the instrumentals, then, right?
Yeah, but then I don't do it in FL Studio anymore. I have a better software. I can
normalize.
What does normalize do? Oh, that kind of like brings it to 0 decibels, so that it brings it to the limit, but it doesn't clip it. I don't know what this is. I don't know. Let's do all of it. So yeah,
So it's really just click and drag and see what happens, then, right?
Pretty much.
Basically, in its simplest form, that's what you do.
Exactly.
And and right click.
Access piano roll, all that. And it's like, oh, where'd all my shit go? Go to all, like that, and then there's all your stuff. So this is kind of like, oh, I want to have like a pattern 2. I want to have like a beat that goes like do. So, if I want to make like a club remix of your thing, I can kind of.
You just like click. That's the draw tool where you just click there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna turn your thing into like a club remix. So I'm gonna put a gross beat on it. Ooh. Okay. So this kick, I don't want it on that effect, so I'm just gonna bring it to effect 2. You could have like a build up if we wanted to. Oops.
So are these all different sound files?
Yep.
Jesus Christ, how much space does this thing take, dude?
A lot. So like, so if I don't like this clap, if I don't like that, you literally just go.
Replace it.
Oh, have you ever heard this in music? It's when
Cymatics, they make patterns when you have certain frequencies.
Oh no, Cymatics is the brand.
Oh, wait, Cymatics, the actual thing is that.
Oh, that's actually what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, oops. So, have you ever heard this sound in music? It sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally a cymbal but reversed. You know, they gotta like do it sick. So yeah, that's it. See, you can do a lot of stuff as long as you know how to pull up this window. You know how to do the effects.
As long as you can access this stuff and fiddle around with it, you can.
Yeah.
It's whatever your heart desires.
Like, you'll never use the piano roll up here. You literally just go to here, and that's kind of like the safe haven, and you just kind of like...
Right
also,
click.
yeah, you just right-click. And then, you know, you can play... Oh, whoops. I hit record. You can play the piano if you want. Whoops. I don't know why that's set to record one. Let's say I load in...
It says steps is just these guys, right?
Yeah. So this is another plugin. It's called Silent. Shoopvex recommended this to me, and let's say I have. Okay, now I can bring this into a piano roll, and then I can play it as a piano.
I know. I've happened. It's happened to me. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you know, if you want to do like, you know, piano arrangements, and you just kind of want to, yeah, I'm going to show you one last project file because I think it's interesting and I'm proud of it. Have you ever played Super Meat Boy?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you know a song like? Oh,
I don't know like the songs.
Yeah.
I only like played it for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. So you know Mystic Cave Zone?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you ever hear this? So like here's Forest Funk, and then I took kind of like this own synthesizer, and I did the MIDI, and then, you know, I kind of have this build up, and then I have this little drum, voice sample. See? And then
did you really just like do all all that shit out?
Yeah, you just ear it out.
That sounds very tedious for you.
It's tedious. But then once you know the notes in the scale, it's literally just oh yeah, you know, it doesn't take too long. And then, you know, I can do and this is how and then they do like arrangements. See? You just fuck with it as much as you want. And like when I did this part, like the Megalovania part, I don't know, I couldn't really do it by ear, so I looked at a Synthesia, and then I just did that, and then it's like, oh, what do I need to do to get it into the proper like scale as this one?
If I'm looking at this correctly, oh, you can actually like widen. If you zoom in, you can actually get even further subdivisions.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
And then, you know, you can even put it like offset slightly.
Oh god, it's gonna piss me off when I do that.
And yeah.
If you have sheet music, you pretty much just like do that.
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, you
can. You can. Or if you have the MIDI, or do it by ear. Because not everything has a MIDI to it.
I mean, yeah, but if I made a MIDI and it has two different channels, like let's say the piano accompaniment and soloist.
Yep.
You can actually just change the voices then.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay. And it makes it sound even like way better. I mean, I already have a different sound font, so it sounds like not the default Windows crap you get.
Yeah.
But if you get like different samples, it's gonna like sound even theoretically better.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious. I'll do it when I go home. I'm gonna fiddle with that.
Yeah, it's really
More closer.
But, yeah. So I just want to show you how accurate a piano can actually sound in this thing, because the default FL Studio piano is ass. Like, it sucks.
Yeah. So like which piano did you use?
I use a Nexus grand piano, so it literally sounds like a grand piano. It sounds very close to a grand piano.
Wait, do you have like other instruments with Nexus, or is it just piano? Like what else do you got?
A shitload of instruments. I'll show you.
How do you actually get, like, this is stuff I might want to fiddle around.
You download it and you can drag it into a folder and then it's done.
Okay.
So You know the song.
I just play I'll hear it. I'll hear it.
Okay, so. Instrumental a cappella. So now I kind of want to do this. Piano. And then, yeah. Because this is what DJ Okawari's grand piano sounds like. Hold on, wait. And then, you can do piano. Like. Sounds super crisp. Yeah.
Just to save my curiosity, I think you can end the quick recording here.
Mm-hmm.
Just to save my curiosity for this thing.
Alright, and